Hi, this is Ron Janish with Precision Trader in Andrew's course. When Dr. Andrews and I talked about risk-reward ratios, he showed me a really easy technique that helps me to understand what my risk-reward ratio is probably going to be in a trade and help me to increase my profitability. So I'm going to show it to you in this video, and then I'm going to show you some other things also. So let's go with this here. Back in December, we sent out a video to all the course members, and we said, look, here's an interesting technique to try out in one of these virtual accounts, a virtual tracking account. And the virtual tracking account is just like a real account, except you can't change the history of what you did in the past. Okay, in like you can in fake accounts. So it's just like a real account. And on December 19th, one of the members of the group, Stephen, he sent out this here. He told me to send it out. And this was a list of the stocks he was in. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what stocks he was in, how well they did, and how this applies to the technique we're going to talk about. So let's take a look. Boom. First one on the list was STEI, and remember he was in somewhere around here. Okay, because this was the 19th of December, which is over here, that he sent this out. That he sent out that list. So he was already in a few days earlier. And one of the things that he does and that I do that's really pretty easy is I'll use a peak to low center line, even though it's not the normal use, and I'll go back and get an action point, and I'll find the reaction point in the future. And what this will generally tell me is something very simple, and that is by when I should have met this 100% point, worst case. And we'll see how well this works. Okay, so how do we measure the 100% marker? All we do is take the low after the market goes up and pulls back. We simply take the distance from here to here and project it forward, and that's the 100% point. And that's the 100% marker. Let's call it a marker, because this is not a place to take profits in the technique that we talked about. Some people like to take profit at 90%, and that works pretty well in some corrections, but for the most part that's just a way to not necessarily do as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this, because in most cases it'll go up to the 200% area. Let's take a look. So this was Stephen's second one, and sure enough it went up to the 100% point, and here's the 200% point, and here's by when it should have made the 100% point. And as you can see, this particular approach gives you lots and lots of room in terms of time. And here it made the 200% marker, and that was just wonderful. And let's take a look at the third one on his list, and the third one on his list is 100% marker was here, 200% marker was here, and here was the time frame. He was looking for it to have made the 100% marker by year. Now, what some people do is they'll say, well, gee, I'd really like to see the 200% marker made by year. And that makes sense too. Let's take a look. See, here's your 200%, and here's your marker. It did not make that marker, but it made the 200% point. Let's take a look at this one here. Close to the 200% point, but time was pretty much up by the time it got here. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. Here we go. Here's time, and here's price. It finally made it over here. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Here we have the 100% point, and the marker, the time was over here. Okay, and here's the 100% point, here's the 200% point, and the time we were looking for, mainly the 100% point, was to be made by this time over here. And we can see that it made it early. And once again, it made it very early. So what good is it drawing this simple reaction line where we do not necessarily expect a reaction to occur? Because you have to use these action-reaction lines very selectively, and just arbitrarily drawing them every time doesn't do it. But this is very, very useful, because if the 100% point is made and far exceeded, it's very likely to go for that 200% point. So here's your 100% point. It's exceeded before time is up. Hits that 200% point. Look at this, 100% point, made it way before time is up, hits the 200% point. Here we go, 100% made way before time was up, goes past, sailing past the 200% point. Now, does this work perfectly every time? Absolutely not. Here's a nice example. Here, didn't make it to the, it just tried to go up and ugh, and that happens. Okay, let's see if we can find another example. Let's see. Well, here's one where, it made it to that 100% point, and was probably very early and made it to the 200% point. Okay, so I can't find him right now, but I know on his list of trades there must have been one or two others that didn't work out. Here's one. Here's one. This one, yeah, it made it to the time part early, and then made the 100% point just a little later. All right, so it was not, we're not expecting it to make it up to the 200% point here. Okay. Now, let's move on to risk-reward ratio. Okay. Okay, so right here we have this here, and what we're going to use is the 100% marker for a reference. And we see, okay, if we go short here, let's say at around 46, target's around 42 for the 100% target, right? That would mean probably around 8-9%. Okay, let's be generous and give it 9%. Your risk is typically, on average, around 4 or 5%. So this is 1 to 2. It's okay, but not real thrilling. Okay, here we go. And here we have our 100% point down at 11, and we're in over here around 13. So we're really closer to 20% or more. Let's say it's only 20%. And if your risk is 3 or 4%, then this is more like 4 or 5 to 1. Right? And if it gets there early, if it gets to the 100% point early, well, let's see if we can draw in these other lines. Oh, sure we can. If it can get to the 100% point quickly, which may be difficult, okay, because its time is coming up fast. So if it can drop down the next few days to the 100% point, then the 200% target, which is down here somewhere around $9, is in sight. All right. Let's see another example of this. Here we go. I don't want to use that one. This one's a little better. Okay. Okay, so your 200% point is going to be somewhere out here. It's already made 100%. So it's going to really go for that 200% point. And your time target isn't until way out here. Easy enough. Okay. Here's another one from Stephen's group of trades. Let's see. Okay, well, this one made it up past the time point. Let's take a look at okay, there it made it to the made it past. Okay, so it made it past the 100% point, and then obviously did make it past the 200% point and went beyond. Okay, so that's simple way of projecting, right? So now this is of course using the technique that we discussed in that video, and if you want to see that video, no problem, you can see it at no extra charge. If you take the course right now, it's a bonus. It's a free bonus. Take the course, just mention that you saw this here in the video, that you want to see the special video that shows you how we find, and how Stephen, for example, finds these particular types of moves. He's very selective about it, and to the Andrews group, quite frankly, he posts on a regular basis what they're going to be. So that's helpful. If you want to see it for free, just mention it. If you take the course, that you'd like to see the free video. That's above and beyond the standard 20, 25. There's a huge list of videos that we give along with the thing. This is combining the techniques of Andrews and Elliott. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's as simple and straightforward as that. It's a power trend investing technique. And so you can see that. And now one of your questions at this point might be, how well did this particular thing that Stephen was doing over time work out? Well, here's where he was on December 19th, right over here. Okay, and here's where he started, and this was the mock account, and that tracked everything in real time, right? And from here to here, it went down about 3%, somewhere around 3%. And so now it's gone over here. Okay, so this is one that goes long and short, and that's what he's done. Now, what you do need to know is he didn't stay long the whole time to get the 300% in all those trades. He got out very early in many of them, and he put on a lot more trades that had much smaller wins than those incredible projections. You need to know that. And the reason that's important is because he could have made a lot more than this very, very slow move here had he done it the other way, right? So anyway, but what he wanted to do was test out how that particular technique in the video worked out. And that was more important than seeing uh, dramatic increases in this particular account. Okay. So also we have our 100%, actually our 100% guarantee that I wanted to tell you about. And the 100% guarantee works like this. You'll be able to purchase this video, or see this video online, purchase a ticket to this video online, and what will happen is you'll see the video, and then you can decide whether or not you want to take the course. And if you decide you want to take the course, send me an email, and whatever you paid for this video, 100% will be applied toward the cost of the course. Okay? Because I'll have to send you out a special invoice then, okay, to give you that reduced cost. So just let me know. My email address is on there. Otherwise, if you want to know more about the course, just come on over to andrewscourse.com and click on products, and there you can see all the insights about the course, and which includes the videos and all those fun kind of things. And as a bonus, if you just take the course, you can get the thing that we talked about here, the particular technique, the special video that was sent out in early December for the whole group to see. And otherwise, if you just want to see this particular technique and get some insights on it, then you can go over to Power Trend Investing, click on ebook and video, and we have not yet released the ebook and really not sure if we will. Okay, but you can get the video here, and there is a fee to defer the costs, and we do have the 100% guarantee, as I just explained it. Okay, so thank you for your time, and come on and take the course.